So how are you guys doing tonight? Says I have one person in my live stream. And that's me. Hey, our backwood homestead, how are you tonight? It's good to see you. I watched a couple of your videos, and I was really impressed with your little area out there. You got a really nice place. I'm testing out a camera that I found at the bins, at the Goodwill bins in Houston, Texas, when I was out there on my road trip. I don't know if you got to see any of my road trip videos. Yeah, thank you. I enjoyed doing that video with John. He's a really great guy. I enjoy spending time with him. He is he's just a nice guy, all around good guy, and I'm glad that I got to know him. And I appreciate you guys offering to let me come and camp out on your land out there. I think I will take you up on that. Where exactly are you located? Oh, I'm in. That's funny. We both asked the same question at the same time. Um, I am in Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah, I'd like to take my van out there and camp out and do a little off the grid camping out there for maybe a day or two. Okay, send me your address. Do you have my email address? This camera will follow you. See how it moves when I mess with something? It's weird. That's weird. Now I took my light and I picked it up so you can see me a little bit better. But the camera picked up on my movement. It's one of those AI cameras that will follow you. Well, let's see what I did today. I've got a couple of videos coming out in the near future about an eviction that I did. I have some rental houses. I wonder if I can get that off of the light where it's not right on the light. I can actually turn that tracking thing off and make it just watch me. I know you didn't tune in today so you can see me fool with a camera. Let's fidget with a camera. We are an actual recording studio. Homestead channel is my hobby. Well, you do pretty good for a hobby. That's pretty good. I'm an audio engineer. Wow. That's cool. So exactly what is an audio engineer? Started in 2020. You started your channel in 2020. Yep, and you are very, very close to having 1,000 subscribers. How is your watch hours? You got just a few more than I do. You're at, looking at your channel, you're at 990 subscribers. 10 more subscribers and you're going to be there. How's the audio on this with this camera? Is it pretty good? Looks like you got 65 videos, so you've been putting out videos for a couple years. And I've gotten a lot of new subscribers since I did that video with John. But I'm still not there yet. Still not there. I am about 100 away, about 110 away from having my 1,000 subscribers. And you're 10 away, so you got 100 more than I do. Okay, the audio sounds pretty good, and the video, I'm looking at my TV and I can see myself on the TV, so looks like the video is pretty good too. This is a high quality camera. It is called an AI. Let's see, it's called a AI. And I thought I had to download a driver in order to use it, but turns out you don't. You don't have to do any of that. That's why I got on the live stream right now, is just to, yeah, it is 1080p. It is. It absolutely is 1080p. But yeah, that's why I got on the YouTube live tonight, was so I could test the camera out. I really didn't. I've had it sitting on top of my monitor. This I'll just give you a little idea of what kind of setup I've got here. I've got my I've got a laptop. It's a Lenovo ThinkVision, and I've got a monitor that's also a Lenovo ThinkVision, and the laptop is closed, so I'm using it more like a desktop than a laptop. And so I just plugged this camera in, and I've had it plugged in for really quite some time since I came back from my trip, and that was in January when I went out to Texas, drove all the way to Texas. And what audio mics are you using to video with? I'll show you. Let's see. I have two different kinds of audio mics. Are you talking about a specific video? The ones that I really like go with my GoPro, and they are they're called VGUE, VGUE, and I don't know if you can see that. And those I use with my GoPro, and they're really good, very high quality. what you're hearing me on right now is just this camera. The other audio mic that I use with my, I use it with my, well, let's see if I can find it here. My desk is kind of messy. The other audio mic that I use, give me just a second. Let me see if I can find it. I do need to find that. Okay, I'm back. I did find it, and I'm glad that you mentioned it, because now I needed to make sure I had it back. This is a wireless lavalier microphone that you can plug into your iPhone. I have an iPhone 15 that I just got a couple months ago, and this plugs into the iPhone. This is the transmitter, and then you have two of the microphones. These work pretty good. If you watched the video that I put out recently, let's see, the video I put up recently where I went to the silos in Waco, Texas, the intro and the outro that I did, on that video was with these new microphones, the lavalier microphones. And I have found that using microphones is kind of important, because audio, if you don't have good audio, then people don't want to stay and listen. You use the Rode Wireless Pro mics. I have a video on those on my page. Which one is the video with the Pro mics? Or do you use it for all of it? Well, if you know, I'm talking to an audio engineer. Of course, I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, right? Well, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the video that I did where I did the Chip and Joanna's silos, but I don't know if you saw that and listened to the audio on that. But how was that? The one that I did with John was also with these mics right here. The one where I interviewed John, he was wearing this mic right here. So what do you think about these? These are not very expensive. I actually bought these off of Amazon, and they're kind of cheaply made. And this little tip right here came off of the first set that I bought, and the microphone was just no good. So I had to order another set. But I think I'm gonna go on to Amazon and look for the ones that John mentioned in the video where I interviewed him, because those are real high quality microphones, and I think that they probably produce a better sound. Okay, either I missed it or you forgot to tell me, but where are you located? Nashville. Okay. I love Tennessee. I did a video in Nashville last July, and it kind of went viral. It's up to 59,000 views. I went to the American Picker store there in Nashville, out north of downtown, 14 miles. Okay. I love Nashville. My wife has a classmate who works at the Ryman Auditorium. He is actually in charge of all of the audio and video equipment. You might even know him if you know any of those folks. And I don't know his name right off the top of my head, or I would tell you. It's kind of odd that I'm on the YouTube studio. Oh, you got knocked off. I was saying that I had a video that went viral that I did in Nashville, Tennessee. It got 59,000 views, and that's the most watched video that I've ever had. The second most watched video was when I visited the R.M. Brooks General Store. Now, the one that I did in Nashville was at the Pickers, the Antique Archaeology there in Nashville, and that got the 59,000 views. The second most popular video was the one I did at R.M. Brooks, and so far it's up to 31,000 views. And surprisingly, the interview with John hasn't taken off yet. I was thinking it would be getting more views than it has, but it has gotten pretty good views considering, the rest of my videos are not. I generally get between 100 to 250 views on a video that I put out. But that antique archaeology, it was more like a museum than it was anything else. You better come with your pockets full of money if you're going to buy something that they have in their store, unless it's a t-shirt, and then they're still expensive. It takes a while. Hey Chuck, how are you? How are you tonight? I've been watching your videos with your van life videos, and I saw that you got a lot of traction with your video where you were talking about females and females being on the road and going out and traveling in the nomadic lifestyle. I didn't pick up any negativity in your video about the females, but it sounds like some people did, even though it obviously was not intended. All right, well, Backwood Homestead, what is your first name? $93,000 views. How many new? So Chuck, you got 93,000 views on your video about women in the nomad community, and how many new subscribers did you get? Tony Ray. Oh, Tony Ray Jones. Okay. All right, Tony. My wife's Patty. Okay, Tony and Patty. Well, it's good to make new friends. Tony, maybe I'll see you at the R.M. Brooks General Store at some point. You got over 1,400 new subscribers. Well, Chuck, I really do enjoy watching your videos. I think that they're very interesting. And I am so sorry that I have neglected to comment on your videos as much as I should. I need to put a comment on it every time I see it, but I have a habit of watching YouTube videos on the television set, and that makes it a little difficult to leave a comment. Can you see my email on my channel, Tony? Are you able to see it? I did put my email on my channel, so you should be able to see it. If not, my email address is aboveital68. That's above it all 68 at yahoo.com. And it's been a while since I've done a live stream. I'm really glad I got on here tonight because Chuck, I've really enjoyed meeting you when I was out there at Quartzsite at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, and I appreciate you. Your content. You talked about meeting me and a young lady there with two different circumstances. I thought that was really interesting video because you were able to compare and contrast the two different reasons why people might be living in a vehicle. And for example, my situation was I was just retired from my job in January, and so I was just out driving around and enjoying it, like vacation time, and sleeping in my vehicle. It wasn't a big deal. But her situation was not at all like that. She kind of had to live in the vehicle. You like the name change? Okay, thanks, Chuck. My wife told me I shouldn't have changed the name. She said I've already branded myself as Side Hustle Sam, and that's what my sign is up above me. Side Hustle Sam is not going away. I'm still Side Hustle Sam, but my channel's name is now Retire Inspired. And the reason I did that, if I didn't explain it really well enough, is because I wanted to be able to talk more about other things than just side hustles. And travel is not a side hustle. So it was kind of hard to justify putting that into the channel and keep it as Side Hustle Sam, because people were like, hey, when are you going to talk about side hustles again? So, I'm still going to talk about side hustles. I love side hustles. I mean, I make good money. Hey, Shane Lanham from Louisville, Kentucky. How are you? Are you still with us? Your email on your channel. Congrats on the name change and the new direction. Our backwoods homestead. Okay, I have to go. I'll email you. All right. Tony, it was good talking to you, and thank you for joining me tonight. Nice talking. Yeah, nice talking with you. Chuck, Chuck's channel. Chuck, put your channel name up here so that Tony can look on your channel. But yeah, Chuck's channel. He has a van that he has built out as a camper van, and he actually, I think he made his debut on Cheap RV Living. Was that the first time you were on YouTube, or did you already have a YouTube channel before all that, Chuck? Oh yeah, our backwood homestead. Nice talking with you, Sam. What's Chuck's channel is all about just traveling in his van, and I think he does a little bit of retirement stuff. I mean, I'm real impressed with Chuck because he talks about some of the things on his channel are about making repairs to his camper. I'm not as handy with the tools as Chuck is. Chuck, when are you coming out to Alabama? Chuck says that was the first time my channel was about 1.5 years. Okay, so you already had your YouTube channel when you were on Cheap RV Living, and you were interviewed on Cheap RV Living. You looked a whole lot different in that video. When you told me about it, I went back and looked at it. And you have lost a lot of weight, but you told me you went through some health issues, and so that's part of the reason why you lost the weight. And Tony's going to check out your channel. And did you put the link to your channel on there, Chuck? Let's see if I can find a link to Chuck's channel. I have never had the opportunity to run into a Bigfoot, Chuck. It is really interesting to listen to you talk about meeting Bigfoot and having conversations with Bigfoot. I know you probably get a lot of people that don't believe you, but I believe you. Chuck Jacobs, Arizona. Oh yeah, the channel name is Chuck Jacobs, Arizona, right? Yeah, that's it. Chuck Jacobs, Arizona. I forgot that the channel is actually your name. And you got almost, oh, man, you're working on 3,000 subscribers. That's good for you, man. Good for you. Cheap RV Living video was shot back in 2018. People can believe whatever they wish. It doesn't change reality. Yeah, I think you said in your video, if I'm not mistaken, that that they can communicate without speaking. Is that correct? It's interesting anyway. I do enjoy watching it. Do you get a lot of feedback from people that don't believe in it? Correct. Well, Chuck, are you going to go to the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous next year? I plan on going again. Had a good time. Really enjoyed getting to meet all the people that I met there. Some of the new things that I'm going to be talking about on my channel now that I've rebranded. Of course, I'm going to have some travel videos, but I'm also going to do a few videos of me repairing vintage video game consoles. Okay, well, that's good that you don't get much from haters. I get a lot of support from folks who know the truth. Yeah. Hey, Gumball Gold, how are you doing in Mississippi? It's good to see you. Jim is your name escaped me for just a minute there. Jim has a YouTube channel, Chuck, called Gumball Gold. He used to have a YouTube channel that was about Airbnb, and his YouTube channel previously was called Airbnb Superhost, no, Oxford Superhost, which was about being a superhost with Airbnb. But I think the libtards with Airbnb um, gave him some guff about some of the videos that he put out about some people who identify differently. I saw that. Jim. Yeah, 100,000. I mean, you got 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome. So, have you seen your first check yet? I know Chuck is just raking in the money with YouTube, especially with all of his new videos hating on women who. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, I need to make a video about women who are travelers, just to see if I get any traction out of it. Oh, you don't have enough watch hours yet. I know you have to have 4,000 watch hours. I had the watch hours, but not the subscribers. Chuck, you got to be monetized. You have to be. How could you not be? You got over 2,000 subscribers. How could you not be monetized? I don't get that. I mean, you've got to have over 4,000 watch hours with all of the controversial videos that you've had out lately. Or do you just mark your videos as not monetized? Because I think you can go in there and mark them so that you won't be monetized. Is that what you do? Are you what is it that they call you when you become monetized? That you become a partner. That's it. Are you a partner, Chuck? I became a YouTube partner when I hit 500 subscribers, but the little thing on there said that I had to have 1,000 subscribers in order to be monetized. So I don't know what the difference is between being a partner and being monetized. Because I'm considered a YouTube partner at this point. And as soon as I get over 1,000 subscribers, then I'll be eligible to start receiving money. But I am really curious, Chuck, about why you're not getting paid. You're putting out the videos, and YouTube is making money off of it, so you should. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. Gumball Gold. Jim, you got 2 new locations, $30 a day. So, okay, let me see, $30 a day, clear, $30 a day times 30 days. Wow, $900. That's more than you make from YouTube. Well, I know, Chuck, that's not the reason you do it. Yeah, I know. But it's not welfare. You did work for it. And they sell gumballs at 50 cents each. I saw your video, Jim, about the Mexican gumballs that you're putting at your locations that service Mexicans, like Mexican restaurants and that sort of thing. How are they doing so far? Are you starting to see any traction on that? I think that's a really neat side hustle. So $30 a day, $900 a month. Is that all of your locations, or is that just two? I haven't put the machines out yet because I haven't printed the labels. Oh, okay. Okay. So you've already got the gumballs? You've already got them ready to be put out. You just haven't printed the labels yet. Is that it? The next time I go live, I'm going to do it on StreamYard so that I can bring people onto my live stream. And that way you guys can actually talk with me instead of having to send messages. I'm up to 52 locations now. Some machines average 30 a month to 30 a day. $30 a day in one machine? Wow. Wow. You're making me think about this. I might I have seriously considered doing vending machines like uh, like candy machines and soda machines, but never really have been seriously considering doing gumball machines. Tax-free money because they consider it a hobby. Oh, really? I didn't know that. What about the vending machines? Are those tax-free, or do you have to pay taxes on those? Curious. Chuck, no, you didn't just turn 75. You look like you're 50. Just turned 75, and you're uploading a video about it as we speak. Okay. Well, what was your birthday, Chuck? What day was your birthday and what month? I just had a birthday February 21st, and I turned 56. So I was retired when I was still 55. But guess what? I got contacted by someone by text, a private agency that does counseling in the prisons, and they want me to go work for them for $95,000 a year. I have a hard time turning that one down. Vending machines here are taxed and $100 a year by the town, so you have to claim it as a business, and that profit goes toward the rest of your income. Okay. Well, happy birthday, Chuck. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chuck Jacobs of Arizona. Happy birthday to you. And many more. 75 years young. Man, you sure don't look it. You don't look it, brother. Jim, you need to go check out Chuck Jacobs' YouTube channel, Chuck Jacobs, Arizona. Chuck Jacobs, you need to go check out Jim's YouTube channel, Gumball Gold. And both of you need to watch every video I put out about 10 or 15 times. And you need to, here's the thing. Both of you need to make a video. Chuck, you've got 2,500 people subscribed, more than that. So I want you to do a video about me and my channel and tell them that this guy is 110 subscribers away. from meeting a personal goal of his. It's not about the money. I understand you don't want no money. I don't really care about the money because I got plenty. I'd have to think about 95,000 a year job offer too. Yes. I have accepted the job. Now, how long am I going to do the job? I don't know. Jim, I do need to come visit you, and you're just right next door to me. I'm going to come see you. I'm going to make a promise to you. I'm going to come see you before I start my new job on April 15th, tax day. Speaking of taxes, I have to sit down and do mine. I've been avoiding them like a plague. But yeah, 95,000 a year. And I just have to go to a prison every day. I did go to the prison when I did my interview, and it's a weird feeling when those doors shut behind you and you know that you just can't get out if you need to immediately. You can't bring a cell phone in there. Chuck, you've retired 3 times, and I know you were a firefighter when you worked. What did you do in your other 2 jobs? Google, YouTube, and the government consider me a potential domestic terrorist because I'm Catholic. So YouTube isn't going to monetize my channel. That's not true. They're going to. You just need to get those watchtowers, and that's going to happen. I'll watch every one of your videos, and I tell you what, I'll put it on a loop where it just plays them continuously, even when I'm sleeping. I'll turn my TV on and just play your videos while I'm sleeping, so that you'll get that monetization. How about that? Would that be all right, Jim? But I'm as I was saying before, Chuck, I'm not really worried about making money. But to me, it's kind of like a check box. You know, even if I make a penny, I can say that I have made money on YouTube. Why is that important to me? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Something is coming up. Oh. I just had something come up on my screen that I scanned earlier. I was testing out my HP scanner. Retired from 3 jobs, 1 sales job, 1 teaching job. Man, you diversify, don't you? Sales job, teaching job, and firefighter. Cool. I had 3 jobs at one time. I was in the Air National Guard, and I was also in the reserves before I went to the National Guard. But I was a combat arms weapons instructor in the Air National Guard, and I retired from the Air National Guard. I was also a part-time police officer. I worked at a casino as a tribal police officer, certified law enforcement officer. So I am still certified. I kept my law enforcement certification. So that's two kind of similar jobs. But then my full-time job was as a social worker, as a master's level social worker, and I became an administrator with the state of Alabama and ended up becoming a director of a county department of human or department of, they call it DHR here in Alabama, but in most states they call it Department of Family and Children's Services. But I became a director of the county office, and then I became the state director for Adult Protective Services when I finally did retire. So no, I did not get a job as a prison guard, Jim. I got a job as a counselor in the prison. Prison guards don't get paid $95,000 a year. I'll be doing counseling in the medical wing of the prison, so I won't have regular contact with the prisoners unless they need to be, go into the medical wing, like they're on a suicide watch or something like that. That's the only time I'll have contact with them. But I'm actually taking a position as a, what's it called? I got it right here. Social Rehabilitation Unit Coordinator. And so I'll be actually supervising other people who are doing the counseling. Great, Jim. Great. You just subbed Chuck. Now, Chuck, you got to go back over there and hit Gumball Gold and sub Jim. So I really debated about whether or not to take this job. I didn't know if I really, Chuck, you saw my Sprinter van. I borrowed money to get that van. I was debt free before I borrowed the money to get that van. I can make the payments with my retirement check. It's not a problem. But it sure would be nice, even if I just worked a year at the prison doing counseling, if I could pay that thing off, $21,000. So, Jim, what do you mean what? What? Oh, yeah. I know I shouldn't have got back into debt. I didn't need to. I shouldn't have. But I sure do like that van. Chuck got to see my van when I was in Arizona at Quartzsite at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. So it's a no build, and I've just got a cot in there, and I've got some bungee cords that when I'm driving it around, I just bungee the cot on the side of the van inside. And I have all the shelves that were in the van when I bought it, and I just put my stuff on the shelves. It works out pretty good. I could pay a lot of bills with the $95,000 job for a year. Yeah, I know, right? I owe $21,000 on the van, and I probably could get that paid off in just 6 months if I just worked 6 months. So I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't feel right about just going to work for 6 months and then quitting. I would feel a little bit of a sense of obligation to stay a little bit longer than 6 months. Yeah, it was a little bit of a hard decision for me to make. One thing that was kind of driving that decision, and it didn't pan out for us. We own rental properties. We have 10 houses so far. We live in one, and we keep one just for rescue animals. So we jokingly call it the cat house. But the house on the other side of that house came available to purchase, and they were asking $125,000. So I don't have $125,000 in the bank. So I thought I would probably have to get a mortgage and borrow money to get that. And in order to do that, I need to have a little bit better income than my retirement. Now, retirement is about $55,000 a year, which is most people live on less than $55,000 a year. So I could easily live off my retirement without any. Even paying the mortgage, I could still do that, but it would be a little tighter than it is now. But so one of the things that I was thinking is if we got this house we did make an offer on the house. We offered the full asking price. And so I was thinking, if I got this house, it would be very, very nice if I had this additional income where I could just get it paid off as quickly as possible and then become debt free again. But the offer we made on the house, they accepted another offer. I guess it became like a bidding war. And I'm not going to go crazy, and pay an outrageous price for a house when I don't need to. So we didn't get the house, but I still got the job. And they said if the deal falls through with the other person that they accepted the offer on, that we are the second in line for that. We did want to get the house because it's right next to our house. And when I told you I have 10 houses, 6 of them are on our own street. So 6 of the houses that we own are on the street where we live. And the rest are the other 4 houses. 2 of them are 1 street over, and then 2 of them are 2 streets over. So I can actually physically walk to every piece of property that I own, which is great. I got a 0 credit score. I couldn't get a loan to go into debt. Yeah, well, if you don't borrow money, you will have a 0 credit score. That's what Dave Ramsey says anyway. And I'm not so sure that's a good thing, because what if you have an opportunity to buy 1,000 gumball machines and you don't have the cash to do it, and you want to borrow money to get those 1,000 gumball machines, and then they pay it off in 6 months. So Chuck, your advice is spot on. Chuck says that I need to do it as long as I enjoy it, not a day longer. That's good advice, because I got to where, even though on my job that I just retired from, I was making $135,000 a year. That's good money. You can't beat that. But I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I didn't enjoy that job, and I certainly didn't like the person that I had to report to. But I could pay a lot of bills off with $95,000 a year, and I don't know. I would enjoy working in a clinical setting. I've never actually worked in a clinical setting before. I've always been in an administrative role, so that'll be a new experience for me. I think I will. If I feel like I'm doing something to help people, even if it's people who've made mistakes, poor judgment, and gotten themselves, locked up for 25 years or longer. They're still human beings. They still deserve to be treated as human beings, and if they are having mental health issues, then they need to get the services that they need. But Chuck said he loved the fire service. It just got too old. He aged out. So that's a job that you would not have retired from if you were you mandatorily retired at a certain age? The only thing we're lacking is health insurance. Obamacare wants $1,000 a month. Yeah, I know. Isn't that called the Affordable Care Act? It's not very affordable. I am going to do some videos since I've rebranded my channel and it's more about retirement now, I'm going to do some videos about living on retirement and budgeting for a fixed income and how you handle the retirement. With retirement, how do you handle insurance? Not everybody gets a pension. And with my pension, I get insurance. I get Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is a good insurance. But there's a lot of people that are retiring with a 401k, doing their own individual retirement account, and they're not guaranteed to have health insurance. So I don't know, Jim, if you were able to get a pension, or if you get any kind of pension, or if you just live off of the money that you get from your Airbnb and your gumballs, or if you have another source of income. But it's really nice to have a pension. I like having a pension. I know I'll get that $55,000 a year for the rest of my life, no matter what happens. So that's not a bad feeling. Yeah, you're right, Chuck. I think that's the same with law enforcement too. You said that you just felt you got too old to do the job correctly, and that it's a young person's game. I agree that it is firefighting is physically demanding, and you have to be in tip-top shape in order to carry those hoses around and to get everything to go into these burning buildings. I really admire firefighters. I think they're 10 times braver than law enforcement officers. Not that law enforcement officers are not brave. I think they're all brave. But I really do admire firefighters. And I think that, when 9/11 happened, that really brought out a lot of awareness about firefighters and, what they do and how tough their job is. So, yeah, I mean, I just admire firefighters for what they do. But I have been on here live for an hour, and I did not expect to be on here for more than 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. But I want to thank my friends Chuck and Jim for coming on tonight. I wish that we could just sit around together and play some cards and drink some soda or beer, whichever you prefer. But I'm going to call it a night, because it's already 8 o'clock and I haven't put any listings on my eBay store. I need to put a couple of listings up before I go home. But yeah, Chuck, I definitely want to see you again. Yeah, I really enjoyed visiting with you. And Jim, before I start that job April 15th, I'm going to make a trip to Oxford, Mississippi, and I'm going to see you. How about that? And you can let me camp out in your front yard or in your driveway. But yeah, we'll get together, Jim. We'll talk and we'll coordinate something. Maybe the first week, or it's going to have to be the first week of April before I can do it. But we'll coordinate something. I'll come to Oxford, Mississippi, and hang out with my good buddy. Never have actually met face to face, but we've had lots of conversations, haven't we? All right. So good night, guys. Great talking to you. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.